We saw that we added the 9000 port and the management context to secure our endpoints, and we extended that security after adding a security dependency in the Maven. And when we added that security dependency in the Maven, we saw that the auto-generated password was present in the console, and we used the same password to access the endpoints. And we used the default user called user to as a user to access those endpoints. After that, we added a custom user and used the same auto-generated password which was printed in the console, and we further extended that by adding a custom user and a custom password. So we used admin user and a password called password to access those endpoints. So why customized authorization is required? The first reason is we saw in earlier videos, we disclose the password in either in console or in properties file. So when we disclose the password in console, anyone having admin access to the server can go to console and look at the password, and he may misuse it. And the other reason is when we save the username and password in the properties file, then it gets saved and in plain text, and it is visible to anyone having access to that repository. So anyone can go to that repository and look at the password in the present, which is present in the plain text. The other reason is most organizations have already been using tools for saving the user information. So the tools can be as simple as saving the user information in the database, or they can be using LTAP or some softwares like OpenAuth and Okta or anything suitable to their needs. It gives an easy user management when we save the user information in already existing tools by the organization. So when we save it in console and properties, then organization has to maintain one more way of saving the user information, which is not good. That is why with the organization, the organization needs, customized authorization is present for them. So in this code, you will see that we have written Spring admin and password is there. Now we will comment this properties as we discussed, and we'll add some custom authorization into our project. So I will comment this. If you see in my left side, we have added some custom authentication configuration and custom authorization authentication provider. So if I open this, so it has a configuration and it extends. So it has a configuration here and it extends web security configure adapter. So web security configure adapter is something provided by uh, Spring Boot, and we need to override configure class. It takes it takes an argument of authentication builder, and we need to provide and authentication provider. So this authentication provider is of a Spring. This is an interface provided by Spring, and we are providing our own custom authentication provider, which is written by us. So we'll open this. So in this custom authentication provider, we need to override authentication provider provided by Spring, and we need to override methods like authenticate supports methods from this interface. So this takes authentication, and now authentication.getName and authentication.getCredentials. This provides us the username and password entered by the user. So we will get it here, and then we need to supply this username password to the authenticate method. So just remember, so this authenticate in this authenticate method, you will have to write the integration with your whatever the company is provided. So it can be LDAP or whatever the company is giving. So now I am taking admin 2 and password 3, password 123 here, but you need to integrate a third party authentication here. And now then you need to authentication provided. This when it's authenticated clearly, then you need to return the object of this, and if it fails, then you need to return the throw an exception. Similarly, in supports also you have to return this class object. So the main crux is here is we need to do everything in the authenticated method. So I will just restart it here. So just restart it here, and we'll just see that we will add the old username and password. So it was admin and it was password, and just provide and it shouldn't work. So as expected, it is not working. So now I will change the username to admin 2 and password 123 23, and we'll send it here. You see this, it is coming. So everything is working as expected now. So what is coming next? So in the next video we will see that how can we add more information to the health and info endpoints. We discussed earlier that we will be adding some more info and more information to these two endpoints that we will discuss in the next video.